I am Todd from GoodCleanFunLife.com.
And I'm Tony Russo from OceanCity.com, and this is my hair, which is going to be like this today.
I think it looks good.
You wouldn't know it because I talk about it often and I don't see a lot of results, but I go to the gym pretty much every day.
Yes.
And I often don't see my hair on Tuesdays until I sit down in front of the camera. And usually it's not too late, but today it's too late. This is how my hair looks today. Because
we got on a hashtag Tony's hair.
Hashtag Tony's hair. Yes, so we were talking about all sorts of fun today. I got a couple things to promote, but I'll promote them at the end. We're talking about hashtags almost accidentally. I'm trying to start a hashtag program, first of all, for the Super Bowl, or at least starting with the Super Bowl.
Sure, big game coming up this week.
And then going forward after the Super Bowl, if I can get traction. And what I've discovered, and what I was just saying to Todd, is that I can't get traction, and I feel like it's because everyone else is doing it wrong. Like, I know how to use hashtags, but no one else does.
Why can't everybody just use it in the same capacity that I'm going to?
Absolutely, when I want to use it, because I change my mind all the time. But it ties into with two of the things, because two of the things we want to talk about today, one is hashtags, and the other one is email marketing. And so, like, sending out an email saying, hey, we'd like to start using this hashtag, will you help us?
Yeah.
It feels weird.
Yeah.
And I don't know how else.
Let me ask you, how often do you search a hashtag? How often do you see something and are like, oh, that's interesting, Atkins 100-year lumber company? I have to say that because I'm looking out the window.
Right.
Hashtag Atkins. Like, how many?
I will click on a hashtag if I'm interested
to see what other people
have.
There's
a conversation building around it. Yes.
Right.
And I have a couple hashtags that I follow for my job. So OCMD.
Right.
I have a stream on my tweet deck that just has all the OCMD posts. A couple other ones. I tried to do craft beer for a while, but that's insane. That's just like having a race car on your screen.
Yeah.
But I want to tell you my idea, and then I'll tell you what I've done so far. First of all, I'm late to go ahead.
I'm going to say this, and in my opinion, and I know where you're going, is the campaign. There's only a couple different reasons for using a hashtag. You're trying to start a campaign.
Right.
The other way is to essentially make fun of hashtags and to say something in a quippy, witty way, but it's all strung together.
That's pretty much the only way I use that.
I actually prefer that to most anything else. And then I think the least genuine way is to use a whole bunch, or to use one in particular, is just to try to garner attention from some big company or something, or something like that.
Comcast sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I like that one.
That's a good one. But you're doing a campaign. You're trying to set up a campaign.
We are. I am. It can be Saturday, which is probably a month too late. Because what I wanted to do is, we're doing a lot of promoting beer and food together. And so what I wanted to do is try to get people to share what craft beer they were having with what food and why. And so I put together this quick hashtag, beer snack reason. And the idea is we're going to try to get everyone to beer snack reason, right? And the idea is we're going to try to get and to use it like very like a little gross, like we send it to the restaurants and say, hey, this is a good place to put your specials. Like, because our idea is we just want more people drinking craft beer. The more people that think of coming here for craft beer, the better it is for us.
Right.
So we're doing this beer talk and tasting with cheese, and so that's kind of the thing we're doing. And it occurred to me, like, for the Super Bowl, that would be cool. Like, taking a little bit of action to get craft beer a little bit more recognition. That's a little less negative. Like, Budweiser's going to say something absurd, and people are going to get mad.
Right.
I know this. Budweiser,
they've been planning it for a year.
Whoever did that peach pumpkin ad last year, they just got back from their vacation.
We're not a microbrew or a macro.
They just got back from their vacation in Tahiti with a bunch more ideas, because everybody, as furious as that made people, it was also like a lot of attention. And it kind of drew a line, and I thought it was a great ad. I mean, I didn't think it was fun, but like it drew the line. It's like, you are our customer, and we're not talking to customers who aren't you. Right. And
but the interesting thing is, they are their customers, because then they're going around buying up, craft beer spots too.
Right, but and they're and I don't want to make it too much about craft beer, but I can tell you that and this is the thing that people don't understand because they're too in it or they're not in it enough. But there are people who check to see. There are a few people who check to see where their beer really comes from.
Right.
There are a bunch of people who drink Budweiser products exclusively, and there are a bunch of people in the middle who are happy with calling something craft beer, and if it doesn't taste offensive to them, they'll continue to drink it. Shock Top, it surprises me that Shock Top and Blue Moon are even still beers because I don't like them. I didn't like them
from the beginning.
I never liked them from the beginning. And Shock Top, and they're both beers that I think got bought up.
Yeah.
So they were independent beers that got bought up. But there are a lot of people who drink them, and they're not drinking them because they're Budweiser products. There are so few people who won't drink something because it's a Budweiser product that is kind of a lost cause.
Right.
Which is why I push to drink local because
know your brewer.
Right.
Kind of like know your farmer.
Absolutely. So anyway, I'm prepared for this beer snack reason. Absolute catastrophe. But if we can get a little traction because of the Super Bowl, maybe we can take it further. I frankly drink more whiskey until I lose some weight. So I can maybe start making stuff up. But you know what I mean? And so hashtags, unless it's like the Grammys, the Emmys, the Oscars, right? Those write themselves, but creating something organic isn't as easy as it looks.
It all goes to the idea of everybody's looking for that quick pop of a lot of attention and or the viral, and I'm pounding the antiviral drum. It's more about building a big body of work for your content or your brand or whatever.
And something more sustainable.
So like we did it when we were working with Jack Daniels and we were doing the Jack Honey.
Right.
And so we had OC Summer Honeys, which I think was a great hashtag, but still it just never really caught on. And then as a marketer, one thing that you can do with that is you can pull the hashtag if people start to use it, but it takes a while to get people to start to really use something like that. Now, if you're a budding photographer and you're taking pictures and you're putting, Canon, sunset pictures, photographer, and you have more hashtags than you do description of what you're posting. That's what we've coined. I don't know that we coined the phrase, but we've adopted the phrase hash hole.
Right.
Which, it's absurd, and what you end up doing is not helping build a body of work. You end up getting a lot of spam coming to you because, followers and that sort of thing.
Right. And that is much more of an Instagram phenomenon than a Twitter phenomenon. But even on Twitter, especially with on the Ocean City site and the Shorecraft Beer site where I have more followers because of what it is, right? The right hashtag will pink a couple, I get a new, we love wine or whatever.
Yeah.
Follows me, 3 of those follow me every day that I make a post that beer is not wine,
right.
beer tasting, but not a wine tasting or something like that. Wine. Like they see whatever the hashtag, the craft beer hashtag attracts a lot of spammy followers.
Right. Because there's a lot of people because it's very popular.
And they're just hoping for the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fishing or whatever they go. They're just throwing it out there, scattershotting. Which isn't what I want to do. What I would like to see happen is this isn't to promote a brand so much as to it's more of an awareness raising. Hey, think about what food you're having with your beer and why they taste good together.
Right.
And so that's a cultural thing, which is why I don't mind that I mind a little bit that it's going to be a total failure. But again, I should have not thought of it Saturday night.
Right.
I probably should have thought of it a month ago. But
especially now that we're in February.
And I'm the only one using that hashtag as well.
Although I did see the article that the governor has officially dubbed the month of February.
Right, yes.
So I think that's hilarious.
Yes, I lost that fight. What am I going to do? Sometimes you say, all right, well, I lost. You're bigger. I lost. That's fair.
Yep.
Yes, so it is February, and so. All right, this was a hashtag fight that I lost, so this might be appropriate. I wanted to call it CBLM. Right. CBLM. Just start throwing it on stuff, just so we can kind of craft beer lovers month.
There you go.
And they're like, no, it has to be February. I'm like, yeah, everyone uses that because it's so unoriginal that everyone thinks that it's cool,
right? Let's have a concert in October, and we'll call it
Rocktoberfest. Absolutely, yeah, because no one else would ever think of that. And so when they saw that, I mean, in Flying Dog has a beer called February,
right?
So I'm like, that's just not fair. And so this is how about MDFEBREWA? I'm like, yeah, how about Maryland has great? How about hashtag Maryland has great beer? So why don't you come to some of our breweries because we like beer here.
And we like people who like beer.
Yeah, we like people who like. I mean, can you make it just I like to keep them like if it's for us to track, if it's for you to track, then keep it short, Or if they expect me to type it 100 times a day, keep it short.
Yeah, I think it's helpful in location and event type things. Like festivals will come out like Firefly 16.
And again, those are the ones that people will. And we'll track that.
So last week we talked about the Dogfish Employee Party. So we have an internal gallery that plays at the Starboard, and so for that night, you put the hashtag Dogfish in, and then it starts pulling all of the Dogfish things. So it's up on the screen and that sort of thing. So it's just like a minor like background type type reinforcement. But that's to be able to pull stuff, and it's event based and that sort of thing.
Right.
But clearly, the best use of a hashtag is to make fun of something that isn't.
Right. Well, I when I tell a bad Twitter joke, the hashtag is the punchline.
Yeah.
Like "Kill Me Now" is one of my favorites. So is another one of my favorites.
Right. And
it's just I like it. I like it for pepper. I like it for a little flavor. That's how I personally use them. And Twitter's really just, it's unfortunately, it's become very news and very celebrity oriented. It's not like there's not a lot of middle ground, which is where I thrived. I did well in the middle ground back in, I was good at Twitter when they were using it the right way, and now that they're using it the wrong way,
now I'm
not as good at it anymore. And so finding my feet on Twitter is becoming.
And industry news. I'm not a big Twitter user, so I don't know, but I've seen the headlines that there's been some shakeups at the top.
Yeah, they're in trouble. Yeah,
who knows what's going to happen? It seems kind of amazing as we're talking about all of this. Obviously hashtags. I'm talking a lot with Instagram. Mm-hmm. Facebook was late to adopt even using it.
You still can't use them really effectively.
Yeah, it's not the same.
It highlights them, but you search.
You need to be able to hit it to to pull it.
Right.
But it's hard to imagine that one of the major social markets or social media platforms could be in trouble, but it seems to be the case.
Yeah, well, I can't believe if the price got low enough, I would buy Twitter, because if you you don't need Twitter doesn't need to be improved. It's already as it was before smartphones. It was already as good as it was going to get.
Right.
Right, and I was using it before smartphones.
Yeah,
just the mass text messaging that was as good as it's going to get. Adding. Now they can go up to 10,000 characters if you want to write a little book. Those are all very sharp jumpy to me. The video and they did something so well that people improved upon it, and now they're trying to copy the people who improved upon it. And I think it hurts them. Twitter for me is I like being able to send a picture. I will send a video. It's not my thing.
Right.
But Twitter is more for me. I like it. I like it for news, and I like it for events.
Right.
And I like it for being me. For participating.
But they're saying that's one of the reasons that it is being bad. You're mean, but in a snarky, lighthearted way. But the bullying that's going on Twitter is almost out of control.
Right.
And and there's nothing. Once you get to 100 million users or whatever,
right, it's chaos. There was I read a great satire story about the Trump presidency, and they were talking about the night that Trump won the presidency, and it was saying, this happened, and it said, and the commentator said, and Twitter, of course, no, and Twitter was a shit show. But then again, Twitter is always a shit show.
Right. Somehow Twitter is like the inner city high school cafeteria.
Everybody's always screaming for no good reason. Yes.
Makes sense.
And so I sent this email out. I don't know if anybody even understood it. You know what I mean? And I've never really gotten a good handle on email marketing. It's never been. I would have lost a bet if anyone 6 years ago would have bet me that we'd still be using email today.
Right.
I would have lost that bet.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But it's effect. I mean, my company uses it. I just personally don't have any.
Right.
There are people in my company who have talents, and I'm glad because I'm not.
You're not one of them.
And so you were talking about.
Well, this is something that we've made mention to clients before in terms of marketing and that sort of thing, that it's actually a pretty valuable thing. People are so inundated with information on all of their feeds that some of the classics seem to be making a return. We're doing it. I just finished up my second list, not a listicle, but it's a 3 award ideas for content marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be sending that out on an email list that we've developed over the last couple of years. But I think now what it is you can put a whole lot of visual in there. You can customize them a lot so that they look pretty, but you can also still have that personal approach, and it feels like you're getting a letter from Tony,
right,
as opposed to just oceancity.com. And like we talked about last week, less promo-y, just more like informational type thing. And those are the things that seem to be doing better and better. So,
how about this for a bullshit psychological theory then, Jesse Crooked?
Let's test it.
We still think about email.
Yes.
I open my email, I'm prepared to read it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not prepared to read Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah.
I look at pictures, I look to see. Mostly, I use Facebook the same way I use Twitter. I have something to say and I put it out. But when I open my email, I scan through and I'm like, okay, I need to do that. I want to read this. I'm going to delete this.
Yeah.
And that's something that
is an obligatory.
We're conditioned to at least deal with it.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I would expect that good email marketers follow is look to see if they're having a lot of unsubscribes.
Yeah.
My predecessor at oceancity.com subscribed to every website ever. And so I do a lot of unsubscribing because I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Don't use your business email as your personal email. Well, just in case some other poor schmuck has to deal with it. But
think about the guy coming after you.
Right. But a lot of times when I go to unsubscribe, and I'm not having any of it, but a lot of times when I go to unsubscribe, it's like, okay, why? Was this too many? Do you want fewer? We can send you fewer.
Right.
Was it not targeted well enough? Like, tell us. I don't, because I didn't sign up for the
because you didn't sign
screw them. I feel guilty if I sign up for if I sign up for one and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, then I'll tell them, hey, you know what? It wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and this is why. Because that's fair.
Well, and I almost feel like there's a little bit, I don't feel guilty about unsubscribing. Now, I have a ton that every time I look at and I read the headline, I'm like, I really should just unsubscribe to that. But I won't, because I still think something,
You might get something.
I might get something that's really interesting. I keep a pretty tight list, but I also feel like I can unsubscribe and resubscribe at a later time, because I'm going to find, the other thing is you're going to find whatever you're trying to put out, whatever they're trying to put out in the other platforms also. So I think because of the way whether the homepage is dying on, for websites or whatever, people say about that, the sign, like I don't feel as bad or as annoyed if I'm getting a pop-up when I open an article that, you know, is asking me to subscribe.
Right. That's the new cost of that's
right.
the new cost.
And if it's unoffensive, or, you know, like I think it's Esquire. I don't subscribe,
Esquire's.
but I read a lot of their articles,
right.
and I always get and they have some like quippy lines. It's like, no thanks, I'm going to go be a nerd, or something, you know, or something like that. And I appreciate that,
right?
You know, to the point where
I'm too late, right?
but yeah, I don't feel. I feel you can kind of build your list and reduce your list.
And the thing about the pop-ups on the front page, which I am, again, I don't have a problem with them.
Right.
The thing about the pop-ups on the front page is it's like, you know what? I would like to not have to remember to type oceancity.com. It works for everybody, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want to have to remember that this is here, and you don't want to have to remember that this is here, so let's not.
Right.
Let me tell you when there's something worth seeing.
Right.
Let me give you a thumbnail sketch of what you can see. I'm not certain that we do a weekly email. I'm not certain we do it as well as we could, but we're actually kind of messing with that now. We usually just have one article, sometimes two, and then it's a little we have a very active forum, so it's a little like updates to the forum. I'd like to see more content so people start to think of us more about as kind of like, if I probably write this week, I'll probably write 4 articles, but I write between 4 and 12 articles a week.
Right.
I don't know if you ever get the Cracked.
Oh yeah.
Cracked does a great job. It's like picture, snippet, link. Picture, snippet,
and they have all the different articles.
Right, and they haven't.
Yeah.
Pick one, you know, and then I mean, they're doing as well as anybody when it comes to that kind of email marketing, and they've always, you know.
And I think we've gotten past and I'm certainly don't think we've 100% passed, but the spam aspect of it. I like.
There are better ways to.
Well, that people understand as businesses, you can't spam. You know, it's like everybody's hip to the Nigerian prince.
Right.
You know, so much so that it's a pop culture joke.
Right.
You know, so like there's you know, so I think because of that, that's weeded out some people with nefarious you know, intent, and more, you know, people are putting stuff together and trying to give information to people who are willing to, you know, put their
interested in it. Absolutely. One of the things though that I was talking about trying not to punish, but one of the things that I do, if there's no unsubscribe button, you're spam now, and I'm just gonna keep putting your and I'm not. You had your chance.
Yes.
You know? If it's like, well, you know, here, click here to view your settings. Don't fuck yourself. You had your chance. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to my life now, and you're gonna be spam from now on.
Right.
You had your chance. I was gonna unsubscribe like a gentleman.
Yes.
You wanted to get a little aggressive about it.
I'll even let you put the unsubscribe, you know, way down, small hidden.
I'll scroll for it.
Yeah.
But don't say click here to deal with my settings, because my settings are, I'll just spam you from now on. I have no problem spamming you.
It's like it's your weapon.
It is. I mean, and it's a real one. You know what I mean? It's. They get the message because they must get from there. I mean, I'm not a fan of constant contact.
Right.
I know that there are people who
they're not in the room.
They're good people. I'm sure they're really nice people who work there. But whoever manages your because you need a company to kind of do that thing, right? Yeah. And whoever manages that must be able to send you, like, I'm sorry, if you're paying for it, they'll send you reports that say,
yes, you
got spammed 5 times, you got unsubscribed 3 times, you got this kind of engagement report of some sort. So, I mean, I hopefully, you know, when Constant Contact goes back to them and say, well, you had, 30 people go to your unsubscribe page, not unsubscribe, and then go back and spam you. You know what I mean? They have to have that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When I worked at the wholesale distributor, it was pretty big, because it's real business to business, and they were pretty big on email marketing, use Constant Contact. And what I found interesting is Constant Contact would reach out and say, hey, you're doing really well. You have a great open percentage. Mm-hmm. You have, a click-through percentage that's good. Your unsubscribe is, that happens. Spam is super low. Like, so, right. I mean, and the fact that Constant Contact would sort of initiate that, it's like, oh, good boy.
Yeah.
Oh, praise.
I can tell you my Constant Contact hatred is mostly still left over from when I was in the newspaper business, because they would, you can't cut and paste them. So if you send me a press release
right.
and it's just on Constant Contact, I can't do anything with it.
Oh, right.
I could retype it.
Right.
Or I could pick one of the other billion pieces of email that
that I don't have to retype.
That I don't have to retype. And so if I like you, and a lot of times I'd say, hey, send me this for real. But then that's more work that I have to do, and Constant Contact could have just made their emails easier to cut and paste.
And here's another thing that maybe we can get into even at a later date. But I've been reading, and I'm not really sure. It doesn't affect us because we don't have advertising on our sites.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of talk about ad blockers and stuff like that. And so I'm wondering if a model that is more set up to be like a newsletter and a subscription that you pay for service,
right?
If that's not the future of some type of content creators.
There are some great tools that you can pay to not get ads. Have you seen this?
Yeah. This is
so it's like for a nickel per day or whatever year,
right.
You see
less
kittens instead of
well, that's more fun.
Yeah, they replace the ads with kittens. Like, I'm making up a third of this.
Yeah.
And the Washington Post, let's say,
decides
they're going to go all free, and they're going to have ads. And if you don't want to see ads, you can pay
extra,
and it's like $1 a month,
right,
to not see any ads, because they're not even making $1 a month off of your of your click-throughs, even if you're doing very well. I just talked to a professional blogger who's going to be writing for us, hopefully, on Annapolis.com, and we're just doing a revenue sharing thing, and I almost felt guilty, right? And she's like, you know what? I want to build my brand.
Right.
You have Annapolis.com.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll take, if it's $100 a year, it's $100 a year. I'll go out for one nice dinner a year. It doesn't matter. But I want to be able to show off my writing, and I want to be able to link back to my own website. And just again, it's Annapolis.com, so it's a very popular site.
Yeah.
But if this works, then that's the problem. They're going to get paid in display ads,
right?
And for people with ad blockers, and I think that so what would it take for me to get an ad blocker? A lot.
To get an ad blocker?
Yeah, because I don't want to download anything else. I don't want to maintain anything else. I don't want to worry about what's working, what's not working. What I do is, if there are too many ads on your site, I don't go.
Right.
I don't go. If you run a video and I can't read because you've got a video running of like the Geico Muppet or whatever. Yeah. No, I don't go to your site.
Well, I think personal preference, obviously, but it has a lot to do with the move to mobile. So it's like site load times and stuff like that. Like, you're actually doing a disservice if you have the Geico guy playing there.
Right. But it's just a regular, like I said, I like AdWords. I think it was Google. I think Google has this thing where if you have an AdWords account and somebody's paying a nickel not to see the AdWords, you get a billionth of a cent. So you get the same whether they see the ad or not.
Oh, okay. So they're like, are they dipping from both sides?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Well, good for them, Google.
Of course. They figured that out a decade ago. They were just waiting until there was a market for it.
That's excellent. Yes. So we went from hashtags to
email marketing
to AdWords,
and so we didn't do Primer this week. We promised to really consider doing it for next week.
We'll think about it.
We'll consider doing it for next week. I wonder what kind of disease this is. Purple.
It moves with you.
No, I don't know. I guess.
I think it's your car.
Yeah, I think it is my car. My car's parked right there, and it's like shining in my face, and that's why I'm well lit. But
I'm over here in the dark too. But anyway.
Just another touch on the bloggers, because something that we maybe we can cover next week is the idea of contract content marketing. Like, I'm going to be responsible for getting these people to write essentially for free,
right? And
also to make sure that they have some sort of editorial standard, and that's going to be interesting.
That will be fun.
I'm looking forward to it. The the woman who's kind of wrangling them is a real pro, and she seems like a nice enough woman.
Oh, good.
So, but we'll see how that goes. I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I would be excited to, if I can make this work, I'm going to expand it to a lot of the other websites. So it's just like a test pilot program.
That's what you got to do, is evaluate, experiment.
Well, and I think
that
and the model is, and this isn't a secret, but the idea is that if we can generate enough traffic to sustain paid content and paid ads,
right,
then everybody can get a couple more dollars. We don't have to pay per click. We don't have to just do the AdWords thing. We can maybe afford to do like we did at OceanCity.com and hire a salesperson and a writer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they can have a couple people who are submitting. And so that's how I'd like to see this go. Where Annapolis.com, the traffic is okay, but it's random. It's just people who are typing Annapolis.com. Right. And so if we can make it so that it's a valuable thing for travelers, then we can throw a salesperson on top, throw a writer, a legitimate writer on top, and then just do that pow, 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 pow. I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be able to do that. I mean, lots of reasons, like hashtag beer, snack,
February. Yeah, you could have some bad ones for that.
And so, real quick, if you are watching this today or tomorrow, well, you're watching it today, that's for sure. But if today is either Tuesday or Wednesday, the 2nd or 3rd, Wednesday the 3rd, we're having a beer tasting event. The public is invited. If you care to come, it is $5. It's 9 beers and 9 cheeses. And it'll be 2 hours, and we'll be talking about the beers and how they measure with the cheeses, how they
Very nice.
Go together. And then, of course, I'll be at the Berlin Library speaking about beer.
What?
Yeah, on February 17th, if you want to come by, 6:30, I believe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that.
I think I'm doing a conference or a digital marketing speech presentation. Talk. I'm doing a Todd Talk. For the Berlin Chamber on February 17th.
Oh, that's awesome.
I wonder if they overlap. If they don't, we should catch up.
Yeah, I'll attend yours if you'll attend mine.
Sure.
Actually, I cannot promise that at all. I don't even know what day that is.
It's a Wednesday.
Oh, is it a Wednesday? Then maybe I can.
Yeah.
Wednesdays are generally good for me.
Good.
All right, cool.
All right.
And well, I almost forget every week. Got anything else?
I got nothing.
All right. Well, Mate Todd, in the future, I'm just going to jump to the Mate Todd, give you this sense.
Yes.
Right? All right. So, Mate Todd, give you the sense to live in a small town.
We'll see you next week at Happy Hour.
Cheers. Cheers.